Good morning, backyard beekeepers. Father Bill here, and it is Monday morning, and March the 24th. It was about 60 degrees when I woke up this morning, and that's kind of nice. We've had 2 weeks of pretty good weather, good enough to do our annual splits. And boy, we've been busy. We've split over 20 bee colonies in 3 different bee yards. We'll talk a little bit about that. Got a great video, great presentation here after I get through with the introduction on a neighborhood beekeeper who set his backyard on fire with some sparks from his smoker. He was using pine straw, and some of the pine straw fell on the grass. It's been very, very dry in North Carolina, particularly down here in eastern North Carolina. And so we do have a what do they call an open burning prohibition right now, and obviously the reason is it's so dry. Anyway, Fred Dunn mentioned that he wondered why, at one point, when he added more beehives to his bee yard, his honey production did not go up significantly, and he wondered about that. I'm going to respond, send him an email this week or a text. I'm interested in Aldo Leopold, who was sort of the father of wildlife management, and his principle of carrying capacity in regards to wild animals and how many, for example, deer, a certain territory, certain patch of land can carry. If it becomes overpopulated, the deer get sick, for example, and don't do well. So I wonder if sometimes when we put our beehives out, and we put them in areas that can't sustain that as many hives as we put out. Something to look at. We'll talk about that too. And then finally, the American Bee Federation. I guess I looked up in the magazine. It came out afterwards, so it's in Facebook. They announced that the USDA lab in Beltsville had received a great amount of dead bees and wax and so forth from the South, from the areas where the bee loss was pretty high. And but they, because of lack of equipment, they were not able to run the pesticide studies. So lo and behold, they sent that over to Cornell University, and Scott McCart, professor there, specializes in this area, and so they're running tests, and there's preliminary suggestions that we're looking at significant exposure to insecticides. And I won't say anything more until there's more definite word. But in certain areas where the agriculture, lots of agriculture exists, and you got bees in proximity, there are some hazards that develop to your bees, and so there'll be more data on that as time goes by. But first, we're going to take a look at my friend David and what happened at his bee yard. Okay, we're not going to mention.
Well, that's one thing about.
Okay, but you got to tell the camera what happened, because we're going to do a little sweep. We're going to sweep in the backyard. This is the backyard beekeeper in our neighborhood, and he will remain unnamed to protect the guilty. Here he is.
Yeah, beware of the dry season and how dry your grass can get. No matter if it rained 2 or 3 days before that, beware how dry it can be. 1 ember or 2 embers can get out of control. With the breeze to push the fire, can make you have to call 911.
And the fire department came.
And fire department came, help
and put the fire out, and your bees are just fine.
Bees and chickens, we didn't have to.
And the chicken, oh, that's right.
Honey.
Let's look at those chickens. Yeah, they seem to be doing okay.
Yeah. You see where the fire stopped before all the major stuff.
Yeah.
Joyce is down here trying to keep it from going to the wood line. I'm up here trying to keep it going for the house.
Wow. Well, that's a new one on me. Now, I did try to set fire to the back of my wife's Explorer one time, and I burned a patch in the carpet. But
Good.
That was the worst I've ever done.
Good reinforcement of basic safety rules. Always have your cell phone.
Yeah.
Always have your cell phone with you.
Yep.
Always have a water source close by.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got, what you got, 8 back here now, and you want to...
There's 8. We're going to split 3.
So we got 8 boxes, but we've only got
3 colonies.
3.
Yep.
So we're going to split 3. That'll give you 6, and then you got room for a couple of swarms. Okay. But yeah, you got some pretty bees back here. That's for sure. Yeah, these 2 down here look good. Yeah. Yep, they look pretty good down here. And the green looks good. So what I did at my house is I would take one from this end and move it down to the other end.
That's the plan. Gold's coming to orange.
Yep.
Blue's coming with a yellow.
Yeah.
Green's going down to other blue.
So that's what I Yes, did. yard. Okay, there you go. I did mention too, David, that I put I guess what I thought was a smoker that was extinguished in the back of my wife's Explorer, and it wasn't, and I ended up burning a hole in the carpet. It wasn't a big hole, but it was enough for her to notice. I couldn't hide it. I tried to hide it, but it didn't work. So anyway, so we have to be really careful, especially this time of year in dry areas when we light our smoker, and when we dump the smoker out with the hot ashes. We got to be really careful what we're doing. It's not a bad idea to dump it in a bucket of water, the ashes that is. So anyway, then after we got a visit with the fire damage, we ended up splitting one of David's really big hives, really big colonies. When we started opening up that colony, I would say there was 40 to 50,000 bees. It overwintered exceedingly well. We were able to split that colony twice. We made 2 brand new colonies from that, and we may end up going back in the near future and scouting for queen cells. I like to call it farming for queen cells, and lo and behold, maybe even get another split. So time will tell, but we're going to watch that video here now.
Still full of bees. Yeah, this would have gone. This would have swarmed about a week, I bet you.
So when you pull those frames, let's look for queen cells.
Queen cells and queen.
Look at that pattern.
Drone cells at the top.
She is beautiful.
Larva.
Mm-hmm.
Got open larva still.
Oh yeah. The drones at the bottom.
So if the queen is gone, they can feed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Pollen.
they'll make a new one.
Corbiculus is full of pollen. That one did. This little spot here with this side. See a
Yeah, okay. That's good then.
cat too. Drone cells at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Really healthy bees, I'll tell you that.
Got a plethora of drones.
Lots of drones. Brood.
Sacrifice the drones is an okay thing. Still got drone cells. Still got drone cells.
Mm-hmm.
Open.
Here's one right here that's charged. Yep, so that's good. That means you're gonna.
That's extra brood cum in it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely.
Not see anything.
I haven't seen her yet.
There's a bunch of drones.
Chances are we already moved her because 90% of the time, according to Mr. Ed, Jeff Horshop, at our spring conference last year, we were sitting around talking, and he was saying that when he does his splits down at the Abbey, 90% of the time he finds the queens are up in the top.
Super cedar cells.
Mm-hmm.
Super cedar cells right here in the middle.
Queen cells. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, those are that's swarm cells.
Yeah.
That's good. That's great. That means that's good news. That means if we have moved the queen, 90% chance we have. I don't see her in here. And that's gonna be your new queen. Queens. Yep. I think you're good. You're good to go.
It's really hard to tell.
Well, that's usually the case. Yeah, let's see what you got. I think like 40 gazillion bees down in there too.
I'm telling you.
Yep. This is one of those, over winter hives comes out, and you got 40,000 bees. 50,000.
So many drones in every frame.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the queen, that's good. That Mr. Ed, must be true. Saying that you gotta.
You can raise one in here.
Yep. 90% chance.
So we split this twice. You can see the amount of bees still.
Yeah, well that's the good news. That's what we wanted to do.
I'll probably need to put another level on this tomorrow, don't I? Medium?
Eventually, yeah. Put this one on there, and then you
Put add another one.
can add another one. Yep.
I'm gonna put the top feeders on.
Whenever you're ready.
Top feeders on one too.
Yes, sir.
Top feeders internally.
Yep.
And so the honey flow gets ticked.
Yep.
And that's when that happens.
Okay, as you could see, awful lot of bees, and that was the bottom deep that we were inspecting. We had inspected the top three medium supers, which were chocked full of bees and brood, and we were able to move the queen. As you can tell, if you look at that presentation in slow motion or carefully look at it, there were no queens present, but there was a great big beautiful swarm queen cell which we kept intact. That'll be the new queen for that particular colony. And the other colonies that we moved, I would make a note that having talked to Jeff Horshop, Mr. Ed, last year, they were here. He and the Dirt Rooster were here for our spring conference, state spring conference, and which was held in Newbern. And I got to visit with Jeff and ask him. I think he said that they were running 100, 150 colonies down at the Abbey. And I asked Jeff, now how do you do your splits? And he sort of sheepishly said, well, to tell you the truth, about 90% of the time, the queen's going to be in one of those upper supers. So they just go through and they move the entire super and put it on a bottom and start a brand new colony, a brand new hive. And 90% of the time, that from his experience, they've moved the queen, which helps prevent, if not prevent, slow down or postpones a better word, swarms. And we do the same thing here. Often we're able to see the queen and make sure we've moved her. But I've discovered the same percentage. I would say 90% of the time when we're moving. The queen is up there in the top, and she's got the brood. The brood's up there too, and the nurse bees. And so, even if you don't see the queen, if you see uh, open brood, larvae, eggs, larvae, then she's close by. And so we've been very successful with that. I had to do one a do over, as it were, yesterday afternoon. My oldest son came over, and I did a do over. Number four, number three needed more bees and a queen cell or two. And we went through number four, which is one of my largest. Number four is one of those 50,000 bee colonies. Not anymore, but it's becoming my resource colony this spring for splits. We'll probably do some more splits from number four, and puts basically I'll farm for queen cells in the coming weeks and put those in my queen castle, and maybe a nuke or two. We'll just wait and see. I like to do that. It's a lot of fun. Obviously, number four has a great queen, great genetics, so we want to keep that going. And so that's what we'll be working on in the near future. And I'll make some more. Hopefully, I'll have time to make some more presentations, record some. But anyway, that's what's going on. We've been very busy with our splits, and our swarm boxes are up. And I'll give you a brief report on that. I've got at least 10 boxes out so far. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 10 in the neighborhood, uh, and they're ready to go. And my son's got two at his house, and my brother's got one in his behind his house. And then we got two down at the churchyard. So we've got our boxes out, but we've just not seen any swarm activity. Very, very little scout activity so far. It looks to me like we're not going to have any activity for another week or two. So that puts us sort of behind 2 or 3 weeks this year from the past seasons. In the past, we've had swarms in March, but this doesn't look like around here in our area, in our neighborhood, nothing yet. I'm looking forward to recording some of those swarms in the near future. We do have one report. One of our backyard beekeepers down in Holly Ridge lives on the intercoastal waterway, and he has captured his first swarm this week. And then I talked to another friend, past president of the New Hanover County beekeepers, and and one of their beekeepers caught a swarm last week down near Curie Beach, Carolina Beach area, I think. So that's about it. That's very, very unusual. In the past, by the end of March, we've caught two, three, four swarms already, as well as our friends. I will say over in Craven County, my buddy Mike, the Swarm King, he and his son, last year they recovered 78 swarms. Uh, I think they've caught one and one trap. They've trapped one so far. So that tells you something right there. If Mike is uh, just getting started, the rest of us are too. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. And thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll put together some more presentations in the near future too. We'll feature some more swarms as they occur, but we'll also continue to talk about what's going on with our bees and what's going on with your bees. This is more of a local channel covering 3 or 4 counties down here in the southeastern part of North Carolina on the coast. And so what's going on here? We are in I think we're 8A as our hardiness zone. So that means that if you go further west in the state, you may end up being in a zone, a different zone, and your bees will run a different schedule. Our bees are more on the same schedule as South Carolina and North Georgia, for example, or Central Georgia, I should say. So here we go. All right, so we covered the fire. Be careful with your smokers. We looked at, let me look at my board. We talked about splits, and right for us, it's we do this every year in end of March, 1st of April. Um, the bees are, I explained to new beekeepers, there are two modes for bees. One is the survival mode, which is basically this fall and winter staying alive, and then the other mode is reproductive or reproduction. That's what's going on right now. This is the best time to be a beekeeper because even when you make your mistakes, you can correct them quite quickly. If you lose a queen, uh, you can find a new queen easily, or your bees will make you a new queen, which is what we do here because we try to be sustainable beekeepers. Also, we'll mention that when we did our splits, this is one of maybe the second year we did not see any mites on drone pupa, and that's amazing because going back 5 or 6 years, we that was a commonplace occurrence seeing mites when we'd break open our hives to start splits. We would see those drones, their pupa, and there would be mites even when we used treatments. But this year and last year, no mites whatsoever. So, and right now we've got Viroxin strips in most of our colonies as an after treatment or post treatment to the oxalic acid vapor treatments that we did over the winter when we had very low brood numbers. Of in some cases we didn't have any. So that's where we are right now. So again, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed today's presentation. And we look forward to doing some more in the near future. Take care.